live.
Welcome to season 2 of my podcast lessons. I took a very long break, like years, but I'm back and I'm different. And there's so much that's happened, and we'll talk about that another time because I have a special guest today that I'm super excited about, who is very special to me.
Oh, that's me.
That's him, one of my first true loves, Mr. Havoc.
Hello, that is I. I am Havoc. Hello, Miss Malone. How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm tired. I just made dinner and now I'm tired. Now I should put on the glasses. Hey,
So, what
cheaper
he
extra.
and I decided on, because a quick backstory, guys. So, he and I are long, long-term exes. Long,
Very long term.
super long term. I almost think like maybe no one else has ever done what we've done, but whatever. Um, and we've kept in touch over the years, off and on, but mostly on. I would say, and I've known him half of my life, so that's a pretty big deal for me because I do not keep up with people that often. But he did something to me that made me super interested all these years. So here we are
What the
now,
hell?
over 2 decades later.
Yep.
Crazy, isn't that crazy? It's half of our lives.
You knew me when I had hair on my head. I have no hair. I am bald.
And he
You knew
knew
me,
me when I didn't have kids. I mean, I had no tattoos. He actually was with me the first tattoo I ever gotten.
and I still have it, and it's still there.
I still
It's
have
a
mine
little
too,
stuff.
but I don't want to flash you guys. So anywho, guys, what we decided to do was collaborate on an episode that I think a lot of exes would probably love to do, but maybe they're not in the best space, or maybe they are. I don't know. But we decided to be brave and ask each other questions that we never asked, that we would like to know now that we are full adults. I'm not giving our ages out unless he wants to, but
I'm 40. I don't worry about my age. I'm old. I'm 40 years old. I'm old and fat and
okay,
still the same.
this is not the time for that.
I'm still the same though. Still the
He,
same
he,
little
he
punk rock
really
kid.
is the same. Like,
I'm
guys,
still the same.
he really is the same. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Ladies first, as always.
Okay. All right. So for my first question is, if you and I continued on without situations happening, where do you see us right now?
Uh, shit. I mean, you're probably living in Georgia.
I probably would
Georgia.
be because of the fact that Tyler Perry Studios, but keep going.
Yes, way before Tyler Perry Studios was even a thing. That's how we met.
Right.
You'd be living in Georgia. I probably wouldn't have as many tattoos.
You
You'd
don't
be
think
we. Mm-mm.
so?
I would probably go a different route with all my tattoos.
Okay.
Uh, we'd be married
Oh.
and probably like I don't know, two kids, a little boy, a little girl, or two boys, two girls.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah, two.
We
Push.
technically we've already bypassed that.
It don't matter. You still. Oh, and we
You
would have
want
to
more
have
than
like
two.
I just want two. Two's fine. One.
Oh, there's
And
conversations we definitely would have had. I wanted 10 kids, and I really wanted a big family. I wanted
10.
10 kids.
That's a lot. I'd have to cut my own balls off after probably four, and then I'd be like, okay, that's enough of that. Stay off of her.
Wow. Stay off of her.
Stay off of her. Every time you get
Okay. Well, okay, 4 is fine. I mean 2 is fine, but still I like a lot of kids. But
18 and what is that? What's that show from back in the day? John and Kate plus 8 or
will that
21.
be us, Johnny K plus 8, or will we be on that MTV show, the teen pregnancy show on MTV?
Probably the teen pregnancy show.
Yeah, we would.
I would have to deal with that one.
Can
I didn't
you
see what.
I and now I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
So, if we had a baby in our teens,
Uh huh.
what do you think our life would look like? Do you think that we would still be pursuing the things that we are right now, or you think it would be totally different?
It would probably be like a huge shock because then we would have to stop doing whatever it is we were doing back then, just for like maybe a couple of months, maybe a year or two, and then kind of just fall back into it. Whereas be like
Yeah.
your music or my graphic design, or then I might even be really become a chef at that point, which I already do now. But I think it'll be like that period of stopping and being like, okay, we have to focus on said child. And then when the kid is like old enough to move by on its own, then it'd be like, okay, well, she's going back in the studio, and I gotta go figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do, and then rolled on with that. Because I never picked one thing to do. It's always one thing, and then that one thing comes to another thing, and then another thing. I went from graphic design to a blogger to what else was I doing? Working in retail. Now I'm a chef.
You did it all, my guy.
I am, and now I'm like technically like a shop owner, kinda, because
Hmm.
I sell stuff out of my garage, and that's only because of the connections that I've had from all the years of doing all the shit that I've done. So all the stuff that I have in my garage is just like free stuff or like stuff that I bought or stuff that I still have from way back living in my mother's house.
I love that, honestly.
Yeah, I think no, I don't have it anymore. I thought I still had the old desk I used to have.
Okay.
All right, Miss Malone.
Yeah.
So this is going way back when the
Oh,
first time,
okay.
first time when you got off that plane and you saw my goofy ass. What was your well, two things. How did you feel, and what did you expect me to look like, other than the photos? Because photos you can like manipulate photos and such.
I honestly was like, damn, he's tall. That's the first thing I thought.
Damn. Well, I am tall.
I did not expect you to be that tall. When I saw how tall you were, immediately I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting you to be this tall.
Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah, I liked it though. I'm a shorty, so tall, you being tall is a plus, the second thing I think I noticed was you look just like your pictures. Like I feel like a lot of people that I met, especially back then, like in my teens, um, they kind of it was just before catfish was a thing, of course, but
Hmm.
they kind of catfished before catfish, so
They lied.
yeah, so it was just kind of like taking a chance on something and hoping that it's exactly what you thought it would be. Especially with me being under a certain age. Also, my parents are, trusting me to travel, by myself. So,
Oh, just to be clear, we were both of age. Just the way that you said it, now people will be like, "Oh, he was older than she was." Yeah, we were the same
no, we're the same
age.
age, but we're the same age, but I wasn't 18 yet.
I know.
I was still like
Uh,
a little girl. Well, I was 16 to
a wee
be
lad.
exact. I was 16.
I don't want it to sound like I was a what they
Predator?
call them. Yeah, predator
You
or
were not.
groomer.
You're only 1 year older than me. Like this is not one of those situations where I didn't want to give my age just now, but damn, he made me because he didn't want to sound like a predator. But this is
Yeah,
not
I
one of
didn't
those.
want to sound like a fucking creeper.
Yeah, no. Without because here's the thing. I don't want to go into every single detail of how we met just because I have a daughter and I don't want to give her no ideas, basically.
Would you be upset if your daughter did what we did? Like the same way that we met, would you be upset if your daughter did what we did?
Hell yes. Because, well, one, to be completely honest, like, I was, okay, at the time, I was working at Claire's, right? And the money that I was saving up for the plane, like, for the trip and everything, my parents didn't really know all the details.
So you lied. It's okay. I didn't tell my mom you was coming either. You just I just showed up to the house and you were in the car. Oh shit! Drop my water bottle.
Yeah, so I didn't tell them all the details, and then I just kind of used my own money to do it, and they didn't question it because I used my own money. But had they known what I was doing, they probably would have never let me do anything again.
Okay.
So the answer is no, I would not. No, I would not let my daughter do, even with things being so much more connected now than it was then. Because like the internet was like still very new back then.
Yeah, it was fucking trash.
Yeah, so there was no real way for my parents to get in contact with me if they really wanted to. I had a sidekick. So what did they? Anyway, that's a story for another day. The point is, it wasn't like they could just do what you
Track you.
now. Yeah. So no, the answer is no. Even with everything, even with technology, I still would not allow that because I'm very protective of my daughter.
Okay. What made you want to come down to see me for the first time? Second time doesn't count. First time is always it's always the first time. So what made you was like I can go to Georgia and see this guy. I could see him.
Um, Initially, our connection is what made me want to see you because being here, like in Virginia, and being like an outcast. Cause see, this is the thing. Let me also say this: when I was coming up, I was considered like a nerd or whatever, right? So I hung out with, even though I hung out with everyone, it's just that I was just very different. There was like so many times I felt myself hiding from myself, right? So the internet was like an escape for me. It was like a place where I could be myself. So I journaled a lot. Like I had Zanga and like Live Journal and all of that. What happened?
No, I was saying the live journal gang.
Oh,
LJ baby.
so I had a little bit of freedom through expression that way because I had to hide so much at school, right? All these black people who were like alternative black people and eccentric black people. There was none of that. There was no identity for people like me at the time. So it's kind of like hiding from yourself all the time. Like, yeah, I kind of like this, and then it's like when you give them a little bit of what you like, they're like, "Girl,
Yes.
you white."
Yeah, it's like, oh, you like that white boy shit. Like, no,
Exactly. So
like no.
it's just really hard because the thing is, it's like you want to be yourself without it turning into you're not being black. You're not honoring your skin tone or whatever the hell they used to tell me, dumb shit. So
Yeah.
to bring it back to why I decided to make that trip, I was at a very dark place in my life, and like I said, this going back to me not feeling like I was connected to anyone. I felt very alone. I felt by myself or whatever. My connection to you was like very important to me, like super important. So I was in that mode of I got to see if this thing is as real as I think it is, because sometimes the internet, like you can connect with somebody over the internet and then maybe in person it might not, that spark just might not be there because maybe it's just not.
Talking.
Yeah, because I've had that happen too. So I was like, I need to see if this is real for me because it was the only way I was going to feel like this is even worth my time. Like, is this worth pursuing after high school type shit? Like, I always decided that I was going to move to Florida. Then when I found out you lived in Atlanta, I was like, okay,
That's close to Florida.
yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far. I can make that trip. So that's why I was like, you know what? If this works out, I'll be close to Florida. So it'll still all work. It'll all be great, right? So so my confidence in coming to see you was all mixed into a bunch of different things. I really liked you. We connected on a level that I didn't connect with anyone here. And then being seen as a black alternative teenager, having somebody that can relate to, you know, with all of that going on. And then I also feel like back then you didn't give me creep vibes. Like you didn't give me any kind of like, oh God, I'm gonna come here and he's gonna chop me into a billion pieces and send me back to my mom. Like I didn't think of any.
I wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer. Calm
Well,
down, kid.
I didn't know what to expect. Like I was just like, all I know. And then also we would talk on the phone. I had a webcam. Like I knew you were real, so
Oof. Webcam days. Oof.
I know. I can't
Jesus.
believe I said webcam.
Oof.
Do you remember? Anyway,
Webcam.
yeah. So
Putting that shit on your computer, you gotta set it up.
yeah. Oh my god, we're so old. Anyway, so
We were on MySpace.
you were in my top 8 until you weren't pissing your off. Anyway, we won't go.
You were in my fave 5 on T-Mobile.
I was.
The minutes were the minutes were free.
Sure was. We had sidekicks and we used to send pics to each other all the time.
I'm gonna try and find a sidekick. Actually, I'm gonna get one for my collection. I'm gonna get me a sidekick. God damn it.
I think
Yeah,
I think that would be so nostalgic.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna find it. God damn
I'm
it.
sure there's some on eBay. There's got to be.
I don't do eBay.
Why
I
did
do
Why did I sell mine? I don't
because
remember.
we weren't gonna use it. It
I
was out of.
I just
It
remember
didn't have
like
a camera
after
on
a
it.
while, yeah, the camera just was trash on the sidekick. Oh my gosh.
It was
I still
fucking
have
cat.
sidekick pics. You know what? I will insert some in this interview. I will insert some of the pics that I took on the
I
sidekick.
cannot wait to see this. Jesus
I'll even
Christ.
insert pics of him from his sidekick that he
My
sent me.
sidekick?
Yes.
Oh my god, yes, please. I want to see them.
I will even
Jesus
insert
Christ.
pics that he sent me from his sidekick. Yeah, I'll send all of that. I'll insert it in this interview.
Okay.
This is
Jesus.
the moment
What?
that we're inserting the pics.
What?
All right.
What? Man, I'm worried about pictures I said. Damn.
Well, I wouldn't put anything crazy up. I'll show you what I'm putting up first,
I don't give a
so
damn.
you can just be like, okay, yes, or you're like, hell no, not that pic. So
Or is it me with hair? No.
yeah, all of them are you with hair.
Damn. Old me, bro. All
All
right,
of them are you with hair, and it's you in the mirror like this and shit. I got a bunch of pics. Yeah,
not
that's
the
your shit.
MySpace, not the MySpace photo.
That's your shit.
All right, your turn.
Okay, so anyway, my question is I actually do have a question that kind of goes with your question, so I'll ask that. What made you feel comfortable enough to allow me to come to see you?
Pretty much the exact same shit. Cause like I'm 40, so when I was like growing up and like going to high school, a predominantly white high school, it was always like I gravitated more towards rock music more than rap. So like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, System, all that shit.
Hmm.
That's all the stuff I was listening to. But like a lot of the black kids were not listening to it. So
Yeah,
all the stuff that I was listening to, they were just like, "Oh, you listen to that white boy shit." So that
God.
again also gravitated me towards like going online, MySpace, Live Journal, all that shit. And then I don't know how I found you, but I did, and I was just like, "Huh, she's kind of like me in a way. She likes the same shit I do." We started talking, and then I was just kind of like, "I wonder if she'll come and visit," because that was like a thing that people were doing. Is like you meet someone, and then you're like, "Hey, come see me in such and such." We used to talk on AIM,
We did.
AOL Messenger. If for the kids that don't know what that is, AOL Messenger, and I was just like, just come see me. That'd be cool. And then you were like, I'm gonna come see you, and I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She gonna say that. She gonna say that. And then you were like, I guess the day before you were like, or like a couple days before you were like, I'm gonna come see you, and I was like, oh, you gonna come see me for real, for real?
Yeah, you didn't know I was serious, huh?
Yeah. And I was just like, fuck.
Oh,
So then I was,
you weren't ready for me to come?
no.
Mm.
I was just kind of like, oh, talking big shit online, and it was like, oh, you actually gonna come see me? What the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I do? Still go down there. I had the white shirt on with the tie, and
We dressed alike. I'll also insert those pictures too.
yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, this is it. And then I brought you to the house, and then I was like, I didn't tell my mom you were coming. Shit. Mom was like,
Who this
who
for?
the heck? Who's this girl? I was like, oh, this is Tasha. She's she gonna stay here for a little bit. And then my mom liked you, and you liked my mom. And then we had Starbucks.
We did. We did. We did. It was
Yes, we had
nice.
in October.
Rocktober.
October, way before Jay Z.
Way before. Yeah.
But yeah, and then it was cool, like having someone like you who understands like the shit that I like, so it's not like kind of weird, and you're not. And I hate to say it, but it's like you're not a little white girl. You're like a black chick that you look good, and it was like, oh shit, she's hot. She likes the music I like. She took my clothes, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you have to leave, and I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
And I was,
he waited in the I had a layover. I had not a layover. Something was going on with my plane where my plane got delayed like super late, like hours.
yeah, I had to stay. I wasn't going to let you just sit at Hartfield Airport by yourself. Good God, no.
Yeah, so
Um,
while we were like there, we were just sitting together and talking and like
oh, yeah, and you also rode MARTA.
I rode Martyr for the first time. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, and then we were just like talking and stuff. It was really cool. It wasn't weird like I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like we were going to meet and just be like kind of awkward. Like don't know what to say. I'm kind of a stranger. I'm kind of a stranger. Like I didn't know, but it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's like talking online, but it's like now there's a face or there's like a body to the face. So now it's just
Yep.
like I could, we can hold hands, we can hug and kiss and such and such. And it's like,
And such
this is cool.
as
I don't know if you want to say anything of that, sir, but yeah, such and such. And it's like, this is cool. I like this. This is cool as shit.
yeah.
And then we went and got tattoos.
And then we went and got tattoos.
And then I got more. I still need to
I
get
got
more,
more
actually.
too.
Not as much as me.
So what? The point is, I got more. It's crazy. So honestly, just like thinking about like where we're at now and how different we've become. Well, I won't say super different, but we've grown obviously. Do you feel like if we try to work things out in our 40s, that it would
Oof.
be the same effect as it was when we met each other when I was 16.
I I feel it would be the same, but it would be more like more relaxed since we are older now.
Right?
Like I can't be like, hey, let's go to this show, like let's go to this punk show and like get a mosh pit and shit. It's like more like, hey, let's go to a lounge and listen to some jazz, like, or stay at
Oh,
home.
you would do that for me?
Yeah, sure. I like jazz. I have jazz records. Like I'm just sit back, chill, uh, chill, listen to some jazz, maybe sip a few drinks. I don't vape. I don't smoke no more. So, and now I'm doing Lent right now. So, no, no, not drinking
I'm
either.
proud of you. That is amazing.
Awful. It's so awful.
I love that for you.
I
That's
hate that for me.
amazing. That's
But my
amazing.
liver, but
Your liver
my
is thanking you right now.
yeah, he is. After all the shit I put his ass through. um, do you? Well, actually, hold on. When you left for the second time, because you came back
You
again,
want to go there?
Jason. No,
Do you want to go there? Go ahead, though.
hey, I ain't scared.
Oh, okay,
I
go
ain't never
ahead.
been. I ain't never been no bitch.
Ask your question.
When you left for the second time, were you before everything else, did you ever think you would ever come back to Georgia
I
to see me?
Yes, I wanted. We talked about getting married before I left. I don't know why you don't remember that. We
A
literally
lot
talked
of
about it. We literally was like, okay, so what's the plan? We After the second time, we knew this is what we wanted to do. So it's just like, oh, okay, so what's the plan? Like after school, what are you thinking about doing? I said, I want to move back here. I already in my mind was like, after I graduate, I'm gonna move back down here.
right. That was on me. You know
That
what?
was the plan. We already had the plan. We talked it through. We tried to figure out how we'd make it work. We already discussed that I was coming back to stay. So the answer
Okay.
is yes. I would have came back and stayed because we already talked about it.
I think the reason why all that shit happened is because maybe young me was terrified. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I was terrified. I was like, oh
Yeah,
god.
I remember I called you like because we were. This is back when we were sending boxes to each other of just stuff.
Oh yeah, we used to like draw on the boxes
Just
and
throw
shit.
the boxes and like send like care packages to each other because we was missing each other because of long distance relationship or whatever, right?
I should send you a care package actually.
You said you would, and I still haven't gotten anything.
Did you? Do I still have your address? Well, you just gotta send me your address. I'll send you.
Well,
Um,
you probably don't now because I moved, but I can give you my new address. We knew for a fact from what I remember that we were going to get married. The plan was I was going to get in trade school because I did not want to do a 4 year. And while I was in trade school, we were going to start figuring out where we wanted to live and financially how we were going to take care of ourselves. Like all of that was going to be the next step of planning once I found a school because I wasn't going to come out there without any kind of backup plan. That was number one. So yeah, once I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do like a kind of a art institute situation. I knew I was going to do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll come down there, and I was at the point where I was telling my parents, I think I know what I want to do. It's like, what do you want to do? I think I want to move to Georgia, and they were like, why Georgia? And then it's like explaining to them, well, I've been looking at schools. There's like an art institute. I'm like telling them all this stuff. And then I'm also telling them, oh, because I'm in a long distance relationship too. And I like this guy and I want to be closer to him. And my mom, of course, was originally not a big fan of that part, but she said, "Well, you put school in it, so at least we know that you're
Just
going
going to
for
school.
education too. You're not moving for a guy solely. You're also gonna chase an education and try to make something of yourself. Fine, whatever." So they kind of was like on board with that whole situation up until where are you going to stay and ask me those kind of questions. And I was trying to figure that out. As I was trying to figure that out, I started to feel a little worried that because I will say this, I can admit that I think we both were scared because it was a serious commitment and we were still very young. But I felt like you and I, because we were best friends too, I felt like you and I, even if I got there and like maybe let's say it didn't work out or we realized it was too much for us, I felt like we both were in the space where we could tell each other the truth.
Yep. I
And
mean, we're best friends first
we
before.
were best friends first. So I always felt like, because I've told you so much about myself and you've told me so much about you, and we've shared really crazy things with one another, like stuff that maybe you couldn't share with everybody because they might be like, y'all are wild or whatever, you know. But
I will. I mean, I will say you always has been a constant in my life. I will. I will admit that. I have been. Jesus Christ. I have been in many a relationship, and you've been like the constant. I don't know what it is. It's like we'll have periods of not talking, or like you'll go away and I'll go away, and then for some odd reason, we'll just get back together.
you've blocked me before. Like, remember that one time? It was a few years back, and you were like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I think that we shouldn't talk anymore. And I think for me, I need to block you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because the reason why, because you always, it's like you were always there. There's always something. Like you're still, I think, yeah, you're still on my Facebook. What the fuck? And it's old photos from like the first time
Yeah.
because I was still at my mother's house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the first time, and I was like, God, I might need to just distance myself from her for a little bit, just for like, it's supposed to be like a couple of days, but shit happens.
He tried to block me and get me out of his psyche and all the things. He tried to do that. And I was like, okay. Because my whole thing was, I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to make you crazy or sad, or I don't want to make you feel anything. So my whole thing was, if you feel like I'm getting in the way of your life, I support you doing what you have to do for your mental health. Like, that's how I felt. So
And that's why I call you Erica Badu. Because you make niggas crazy. I mean, I'm already insane, but, not like the rest of them. I'm glad I made you laugh at that one.
oh my god. Well, if you're putting a negative on Erica Badu, I don't want you to call me her because I don't feel like the way I make people feel is a negative thing. If to be completely honest, I think the people that do end up going a little berserk is based on the fact that it's like one of those things where it's like I had her, she was great or she wasn't, whatever. I don't want to speak for anyone, but um I think that it's that thing of like having something so close, like it's like touching a star, touching the sun, right? Like you want to touch it. It's like, and then when you finally touch it and it's like too high, you like, I why did I do that? And you get burned or whatever. Even though like I'm true to myself. So like the sun is always going to shine. It's always the same. It might be different colors or it might be different, but it's always going to be the sun. That's just like me. I'm always going to be me. I'm always going to be myself through and through, right? But even when I'm myself authentically, people try to change that. And when they try to change that, I then have to,
Distance.
yeah. And when I do that, it's so abrupt, they're not ready for it because they're like, I was
She's
just
gone.
getting used to having her around, or I was just falling in love, or whatever it is. And then once it's already like, yeah, I'm already gone. And also, I don't end on bad notes. Like, I have a habit of, like, none of my exes and me are beefing. Now, some of them do a little weird
Much.
things. They do weird stuff to kind of, but I am not mad at anyone, and I'm not beefing with anyone. I'm not on bad terms with anyone. Um, like, any of my exes, if they have any kind of anger or anything towards me, it's one sided, and they've never said it to my face. So if they write a song or whatever they want to do, I mean, hey, I'm glad I can
So
inspire you, but I don't have any bad blood with any of my exes. Like, I just don't. I don't go in like that. I lead with love, and I also leave with love.
I think I could say the same thing. No, wait, I only have bad beef with one. Only one. Everybody else
Is
is
it
good.
bad beef, or you guys just like, it's just like a misunderstanding?
It was a bad decision. I can say that much. Me and her together was a bad decision.
Okay, so a little toxic.
Was yeah, because I had to drag her out my house.
Okay,
So yeah, it was.
when we get off here, you got to tell me about that because I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah,
Drag her out your house,
yeah, she wouldn't leave, so I had to.
physically drag her out of your house.
hmm her
You
kicking and
calling me?
screaming and
You
such.
calling me Erica Badu?
I don't know why people like me. I'm not even that likable.
I can tell you why people like you. I think that people like you because you're hard to read. You're like a little mysterious. Like if I never met you and this was my first time meeting you, and I let's just say like you were at a restaurant doing your thing or whatever, and like it's like, oh yeah, like the chef comes out and it's like you, I would be intrigued. I'd be like, okay. And I think something there. There's something about you that's a little mysterious. It's like you're not too much of anything. Like, you are very balanced, and your energy's very balanced. So it's like comfortable energy to be a part of. Like, I feel like anybody could get along with you if they really like had a conversation with you. Um, and that's without you being extra friendly. That's another thing. You're not like super friendly from what I've seen, but
not, not even remotely
you're
close.
also not like just a fucking dick to everybody. So then there's that. It's just like you have a good balance. Like, nobody probably would think you're a joke, but at the same time, if they had a conversation with you, I don't see you being like a dick. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have a good balance of
Okay.
how to be respected and to give respect. So, yeah, if I didn't know you, I would find you interesting, and I would want to know you more. I would want to get to know you. So, if I was a woman, well, I'm a woman.
I'm gonna say if you were. I mean, what the hell? You got something to tell me
If
now?
I was it's a little too late for that, love. If I
It's
were
been
a
20
woman,
years.
right? If I were a woman who was meeting you for the first time, let's say, for instance, we were on a blind date or something, and maybe like your brother hooked us up or something. Off the break, I probably would be like, something there. I don't know what it is yet. And as the date goes on, I would get more intrigued only because I feel like you have layers. I don't feel like you are a very like. I don't feel like you're shallow. I feel like you're layered. I feel like you also don't like I said before. I feel like you don't give a lot of yourself right away, which intensifies that. Like, I wonder what his deal is. I wonder what's his story. And that's a good thing. Like, that's a mysterious thing about you. Like, I wouldn't necessarily know your story right away. You kind of give that energy that like what is what is going on there?
There's something there in this guy right here.
They're that guy. So and see with me, I feel like when people like meet me, they immediately think that they they kind of treat me like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I feel like when people try to get to know me, they kind of treat me like I'm supposed to be one way all the time. So when I start to show, when I get comfortable, I start to then show more of my personality. Once I show more of my personality, they realize, oh, she's also funny. Oh, she's also, all these things because I don't give that up very fast. Like if I don't trust you, you will never know I'm funny because I feel like that's an intimate thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, why would you let that be known off rip?
Because because some people are just like that. They want to be seen or heard so much that they will give so much of their personality right away to you, so that you like them. They want to use that to be like you to attract to them. But for me, I'm the complete opposite because I'm extremely shy. Number one, number two, I'm reserved because I don't always know like if this is a safe space or not. And because I don't know that with most people, it takes a long time for me to warm up. So I think people like that getting to know me warm up place with me. And then once I warm up and they really get to know me, they're like, oh, okay. And then once they really get to know me and they see that I'm also very moody, I'm also all these other things, they're like, okay, she's got even more. That's what I'm saying.
She's
It's just a lot. It's a lot, but I feel like it's a good lot because I'm in therapy and I know how to treat people. And I think because I'm honest too, I think my honesty is also something people are surprised about because they're like, "Oh, you just gonna say how you feel?" Yes, I am.
oh, you're just gonna let that shit you're just gonna let all the bullets out the cliff, huh? Damn.
Yeah, if I feel like a way about something, I'm gonna say it. If I want to do something, I'm gonna say it. Um, I'm very open about my sexuality and the things that I like and all the things, and I don't shy away from any of that stuff. I want people to know what they're getting themselves into, and I never want to hear them say, "You didn't tell me." No, I told you. So
It wasn't in the contract when we got together.
if they wrote a contract on you, what do you think would be in bold?
He will stop talking to you for no absolute reason. It doesn't mean that he hates you, or if it doesn't mean that he hates you, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't like you. He just doesn't want to talk. And I don't blame it. It's kind of like on my father
Mm-hmm.
because he used to do that shit. Like he would have weeks where he wouldn't talk. Like he'll come home and he'll just, he's there, he exists, but he just wouldn't talk about anything. He wouldn't talk about his day or none of that shit. He just, he's just there. And I think like that's a thing with me because sometimes I just don't want to talk about anything. Like I'll like after this, I'm gonna be going playing Call of Duty with my friends, and that's probably the most talking I do until I go to work tomorrow, and then I have to talk to people at work. But apart from that, it's more like, well, I'm not even that into. It's like, well, I'm going to talk about the day at work. I went to work and I was bored. You want to hear about my day at work? It's boring.
Okay, that's good to
That
know.
would be like that would be the biggest thing because women always want to chit chat and ask about how your day is, and if you're like, it's all right, and then like, are you mad at me? No, my day was shit.
You and I have that in common because I'm the
Cause
same.
because I don't like talking about like your day at work. It's like, oh, how was your day at work? I don't care. I don't know these people that you work with. I don't care about Rachel in fucking HR. I
Uh,
don't give a shit. I don't know her. If you want to talk, then talk. Just talk to me about it. But I will pretend to be like, wow, what a bitch.
uh,
So anyway, I'm just gonna leave now and go play some video games. So that's what
wow.
I'm gonna do. But yeah, I mean, that's my biggest red flag, I guess.
Okay.
I guess that's what the kids say. The red
Okay.
flag.
That's what they say. So what would you say if somebody wanted to date you, other than that, what else would be something important that they would need to know about you, and why do you feel like it's important? Like, what's something that's like a necessity to make you feel comfortable in a relationship?
I am a collector, and I will always collect something. I
Yeah.
will, and I will come home with either a VHS tape or a stack of records, some toys, something. So it doesn't even matter. I'm gonna come home with something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have shit that I don't even think you're even supposed to own, but I have it anyway, just because like I found it, and
Okay.
I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna take this and then leave because I have like one of those like those little magazine things, the little magazine holders that you see on the side of the street. Like, you open it up and you grab a magazine. I have one of those. Why? Because I found it on the side of a fucking street and I took it. Don't ask me why I have it. I just have it.
I was about
Don't
to
worry about
say,
it.
how did you move that? Was it heavy?
No, it's made of plastic. It was
Oh,
it
like
was
little
empty.
yellow.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
one.
got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, but I mean that's like one of my things that will keep me grounded. I guess.
Collecting.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I have that yeah keeps me keeps me grounded.
Okay.
Until I get bored, and then I'll probably like either get rid of it or my daughter will take it when I'm dead in the ground.
Wow.
By then it'll be like triple the worth, and then she can probably go to college off it.
You have big dreams, and I love that.
Okay, what is your green flag apart from you being funny? Oh
Um.
wait, no, wait, no, hold on, back that up.
Okay.
Uh how do you deal with like in a relationship, but you also do like movies and you do your music stuff? Like, how does your partner deal with all that? Because I mean, music or like studio sessions are long,
Yes.
and movies they take months and months, even years to do. Like, so how do they deal with that?
I can say from the past, they have been supportive to an extent. I probably had one relationship that was a little tricky because it was like we were dating during the pandemic, and I was also filming my film Raven during the pandemic, and we filmed it in New Jersey. So I had to stay in New Jersey for 2 weeks in an Airbnb, enclosed with other people, in close
Ugh.
quarters. Yeah, for 2 weeks to film this film. And while I was there, my partner and I talked very minimally because we filmed from night, like day to night, like long days, because we had to do a film that probably would have taken us months to shoot in 2 weeks. So we filmed all day and all night. And so by the time it was time, we were wrapped for the day. I was too damn tired. So at that time, they would call me and I didn't feel like talking, and they were getting frustrated because, this is somebody that was used to seeing me every day, and 2 weeks during the pandemic was long to them because at the time they were also at home. So they were just like, I'm not seeing you, So it got tricky, and like things got weird when I got back, and it's just whatever. So I would say that was maybe the one time somebody didn't take it that great, but most of the time they do. Now, a thing that I've run into recently, like a couple of in these last more recent situations I've been in with people that I've dated, um, is it's not so much that they have an issue with it. It's just that the kind of support that I want in a partner, I'm not getting.
Like, what support do you need?
So it's I won't say need, because need is kind of like, you know, I would just appreciate a partner that's interested in hearing about what I'm doing, or at least like just as excited about what I'm doing as I am. So like if I'm posting about it, or if like, I need you to be just as excited, cuz like I don't want to just be dating someone that's like, eh, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing is, acting, especially film especially, is so important to me, and it's so like high on my things that I need to do to survive. Like, if I don't want to fall into any kind of depression or anything like that, it's like I have to have a balance of create like a creative outlet is, on top of my day to day, because obviously I gotta work, I gotta take care of my kids, I gotta do all that. That's just, I have to do it. But I have to have that balance of something for me, and my creativity is that for me, right? So if I'm dating someone who knows that about me, and they kind of like don't really take it as seriously as I do, and this is not to say that I need them to be on set with me, I need them to hold lights, I don't even do none of that. It's just a matter of like, when I come home from doing whatever I'm doing, or if I'm, talking about what I'm doing, show some interest, like, or
Yeah.
even just, that's why I kind of, as much as I don't always like dating other artists, I kind of rather date other artists, because
Understand.
yeah. And and when I say that, I have to also be specific to, I like other artists who aren't in competition with you, because then there's that side of it too. When you date other artists, sometimes they feel like they have to be in competition with you. I do not want a partner that's in competition with me. Like, it's not, I need somebody to work with me. So I need somebody who's like, I, this is my favorite song on your album, and this is why. It's like simple stuff like that. I don't, if you're not going to post it or whatever, fine. But it's like, did you hear the album? Did you listen to the album? Did you watch the films? I have fucking 12 films. Did you watch any of them? Like, can you tell me anything about anything I've done? That's what I'm saying. Like, because I've worked my ass off, and it's frustrating to me sometimes when I feel like I show up for everybody else, and when it comes to people showing up for me, it's so hard. But if I was Beyonce or whoever else, you do that with no problem.
That's true. I have the same
So
problem sometimes too.
that's you said what?
I have the same problem sometimes too.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, I realize, and thank God for my therapist, but because she helped me also realize that when I am looking for a partner, or when, let me not say looking, but when I am in a position where I'm open to being in a partnership with someone, I need to really, really, really understand that if they don't at least understand that side of it, it's never going to work, because I'm a creator, just like you're a collector. I'm a creator, right?
Hmm.
If you date someone who is not interested in what you're doing, like at all, to the point where it's like you found something cool today, and I'm just like, okay, back to whatever I'm doing. And then maybe I'm doing something with whatever I'm doing, and I say to you, well, I did this today, and you're excited about what I did. You eventually going to feel resentment, because you're going to be like, I've always supported what you've done. This one time I tell you something cool, you're just kind of like,
Throw it
whatever.
on the back end.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And that's how I felt in my last couple of relationships that I've been in. It's been very put on the back burner, or but whenever I date somebody who is excited about what I'm doing, or excited for me, because they're like, I know what you've been through. Like, they know how hard it's been for me. And it's like, that's a wonderful example of what I mean when I say like the kind of partner I need. I need the kind of partner that's like, how can I assist you? Like, you're taking on a lot by yourself, but if I'm in a partnership with you, how can I assist you? Even if it's down to just let me see who I know that can help with this thing, whatever it is, or let me call who I think would be great for this thing or whatever. Because the thing is, we all have so many resources in our circles, in our individual circles. So even if I can't directly help you, somebody I know has to be able to do that, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'm going to hear what you're asking me or what you need or see what you need, and I'm going to take it upon myself to go out there and try to assist you so you're not stressed out, because I don't want to stress you. I want to happy you. I want to support you, and I also want you to feel like you actually have a partner versus just somebody that's just here.
Oh, okay. I mean, I used to do the whole music blog thing when I was
Well, you did.
yeah, that was a
I
era of my
loved your
life.
music blog.
I did not like that at all. I
Well,
mean, it was pretty much just me. It was a one man show. So I was doing the site design, getting the artist music up, doing the interviews, posting their music, getting money off of ads and shit. I had a
yeah.
friend. She went to a show for me, and they did not know. They asked if I was a real person because I never came out. I didn't go to shows. I didn't go to album releases. I didn't go to studio sessions because I was like, I don't want to get none of that shit. I'll just send some. They'll like send like tickets to shows, and I'll be like, you
That's
want to go?
amazing.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
been to like I went to I went to A3C when it was like still cool back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
really cool.
yeah, they paid me to be there for a little bit because I was
Wow.
supposed to write for their blog, and I did it for one day, and I was like, I don't do this no more. So I just went and got drunk with my friends.
That's amazing that you went that far with that blog. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, also I met like a celebrity
What
at
you mean?
that Jerobi of Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, nice.
But that was an accident. That was a total
Okay.
accident because I did not know who he was at the time because I was like
Oh,
fucking shit faced drunk, and we went to like this pizza spot downtown
uh,
Atlanta, and he walked in front of us, and I don't know where my brain was because physically I was here, but mentally my brain went to go get like a pack of cigarettes or some shit, and I walked in the room, or walked in the pizza place, and I was like, this is Jerobi, and he can sit wherever the fuck he wants to, and everything is going to be free on him, or like all the pizza, like they're not charging for it. And I was like, I'm his manager, and he can, do whatever he wants, blah blah. And they were looking at him, and then he looks at me, and then he looks at them again. He was like, "Yeah, that's my manager," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then I woke up next morning like, "What did I do last night?"
oh my God. I wonder if you
Because
remember.
of course he does, because we're still friends to this day.
How funny. Oh my gosh. That is a funny story I've never heard before.
Yeah, I also know another famous person too. He is a Grammy winning producer. He works with like Dr. Dre and Exhibit and all of them.
Nice.
And I met him when I worked at Whole Foods, and I was kind of like me ish, because like when you go to like grocery stores and they're like, "Hey, do you want to like give money for this fund or whatever?" And
Yeah.
he used to come in all the time, him and his then wife, and his kids and stuff. And he used to come in. I used to be like, "Hey, man, do you want to like just give $20 so I can not have to ask people all day?" And he was like, "I'll give $100." He was like, "I'll give $100," and I was like, "Oh, cool, man, that's cool, thanks." And then he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "I'm Sheldon." He was like, "I'm Bernard," and I was like, "No, that's cool." Come to find out, he was like a famous producer that I didn't even know about. He asked me to go on like a video shoot with him, and I did not go because I didn't want to go. And but yeah, I went, and we're still friends to this day.
Making friends and stuff.
I don't. Yeah, it's really weird when people are like, "Oh, you're really cool." I'm not. I'm just not.
So that goes back to what I was saying earlier about your personality being very like, yeah. I think that you're very cool. I just think that you are reserved with your coolness. Like, you're not somebody that is super approachable, but I don't feel like if somebody approached you, you would be like, get the fuck away from me. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a good balance to wrap
Yeah.
it back on up. To wrap it back on up. But yeah. Um
I can't wait to tell you the story about the whole dragging her out thing. You're
I
gonna be
can't
like,
I can't wait
you're
to get
gonna,
over here and hear that story too. Um
you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
yeah, I am. Okay, so give me your last question, and I'm gonna give you mine, and then we can wrap this up. Unless you want to, because I'm not trying to get this. I'm not trying to make this too heavy.
I don't care. I'm a big boy. I put my pants on one leg at a time. God damn it.
Okay, so this is my last question for you.
Shoot.
If you could say anything to 17-year-old Tosh as your adult self, what would you say to her?
Don't you leave that boy. Don't you ever leave that boy. It's gonna go downhill from there. Don't you ever leave that boy. Shit is not gonna be sweet for neither of you.
That I didn't leave that boy.
I mean, you have to go back home. I was just saying, just don't leave at all. The first time, don't leave. I mean, I would ask the same question.
I was expecting more of you asked me the same question? What
Yeah,
would I
what would you
tell
tell?
young Sheldon?
Yeah, don't lose your
Okay.
hair.
Huh?
Don't
What?
lose your hair. Don't
No.
lose your hair.
No. In all seriousness, I would have told young Sheldon, I really wish you would have talked to me. Like, I really wish you would have talked to me. Instead of just letting things happen the way they did, I really wish you would have talked to me. Because it wasn't even what happened that was so bad for me. It was the way I found out that was so bad for me. Like, I would have rather heard all that from you.
Yeah, that's all me. I still kick myself to this day for that shit. Just uh,
I
just a
just
quick
can't.
FYI.
I, as I am almost 40 and I still, just talking about it right now, I still can go back to how I felt on that phone call to this day.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
one of those
still
things.
had to.
It's one of those things where I thought eventually it wouldn't feel like that again, but it always does. Like, it's not even. Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that I swear if I could go back in time, I wish somebody would have just like said to me like, "Hey."
I wish I didn't do it.
Well, I wish that would have happened too, but I also wish that I had a different kind of like warning. Like, I wish it wasn't brought to me the way it was because it was like ambushy. It was kind of like, oh,
Shit, I mean,
you're a little too happy to come back here, and we're gonna fuck it up for you. You ready? Here it is. It's just like, because I just remember the phone call being very like, it started off one way and it just went downhill, and I was just like, wait, what is happening? Like, why are y'all telling me this? That was I just kept asking, why are y'all telling me this? Because I was like in denial for half of that phone call, especially because I was like, well, I thought you guys liked me.
they do like you. They just don't like me.
You said what?
I said they did like you. That's why they told you. Again,
Point.
I had hair. I had hair.
So it's the hair's fault that you acted fucking fool outside.
No, that's it. Well, I mean, I'm acting a fool regardless, but that's the only reason I remember anything. Like, that's how long, like, people are in my life. Like, you've been in my life for so long. You knew me when I had hair. A lot of people now know me when I'm bald and tattooed. You knew me when I had a fro at one point.
Yeah, you did.
When I used to wear large shirts, not double XLs. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make the face. Don't laugh. Jesus.
Double XL is what you just said?
Yeah, I like bigger shirts now.
I'm about to say you're not like. Why are you exaggerating?
I mean, I like double XLs. They make me feel good.
It's no
Make it don't look
problem.
too make it look too fat. Actually, one more question.
Yes.
What would you go back? So we, like, say we went back to younger selves together, like now, older us, younger us, and we sat down together. Don't know why I'm using fingers, but what would we say to each of them together while they're together? We're sitting here together and we talk to them.
Oh, that's a good one. So like they're at Starbucks right now, and we are our older selves, and we're sitting beside each of them.
Yeah, no, it's more like young Sheldon, young Tosh, old Sheldon, old Tosh,
Oh, we're
and
sitting
we,
across from them.
yeah, and we're talking to them.
Um, well, one, I would tell them, I really miss you guys. That's number one. I would say that. I would say I really miss you guys. You guys were okay. I'm getting emotional. Sorry.
I ain't want you to. I didn't say start crying. Calm down, woman.
I'm not trying to cry. I'm a emotional girl.
Just a girl.
I'm just a girl. I think I would, like I said, I would definitely say I miss you guys. Um, I would I would probably tell them to like maybe I would even tell them to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I was about
Um,
to say the same shit. I was like, hey, slow down.
I think we were so wrapped up because back then it's like we were kids, so like everything is always bigger when you're a kid. Like if we went through any of that as adults, it wouldn't be as dramatic. Like it would have just been like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? But I think everything was so big. Emotions were so big. Um, how we felt at the moment was so big. Like everything was super big because it was new and it was different and feeling like again feeling that connection to somebody, especially if you don't often feel like that with other people. It's like new emotions. I definitely didn't have anybody I connected with like that, so it was just very like dramatic. Like I this is it for me, you know. So I think I don't know. It was a lot. So I probably would have told young Tosh just just calm down a little bit, you know, take breaths, enjoy the moment, enjoy the experience. I know that you would like to preserve this and keep it forever and put it in your pocket forever, but maybe you might want to take some time. You might want to grow. You might want to see the world. You might want to go through a few things first so you're a little bit more built for what's to come. Because I know for a fact I wasn't built for what came. I wasn't built at all because I think I can say without a shadow of a doubt, by the time you and I were together, you maybe were my second.
Wait, what? Oh, oh, ooh, ew. Did not know that one. That's
So for me, I was like my emotions were big, 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 big.
oh,
That's why everything was like extra dramatic when because I just couldn't believe like I was dealing with someone that didn't cherish what we had like I did. Like this is ours. And that's how I saw it. Like this is ours. This is our thing. Like da da da. But that's nobody's fault because honestly, we were really, really, really young, and I think I didn't understand boys exactly because I to put a disclaimer out there, was way, way, way interested in women for a very long time, or girls at the time. And I think, like I said, you were like the second boy that I was serious about. So it was like, I don't know what I thought. I think I thought that you saw me like I saw you, and we cherished what we did because we were doing it together. So it was like, oh, this is different. This isn't like anyone else because everybody outside of us doesn't matter, you know? And I think I was a little naive because I wanted shit to be like a fairy tale. I'm an actress, I'm really dramatic. And it was no different when I was 16, 17. No different. I was very dramatic, and I lived with that thought of, oh yeah, we're gonna get married. We're gonna have this really cute punk wedding, and we're gonna. Like I had this whole thing in my head. Um, I still have that same thing in my head, but it's like it was the same thing. I was just like, that's all I was like thinking about. So nothing. I didn't ever think about, well, we're long distance and he's a boy. Like he's a guy, Josh, and we're long distance. There's
He's a
not
boy.
enough. There's not enough pictures I'm going to be able to send you to keep you occupied. And I didn't think like that back then. I just kind of was like, no, he's mine. So he was like, it's like that's it. That's it. So yeah, that's it. That's what I would tell her. I would tell her to slow down. You know, be realistic. Even though I don't know what that looks like as a 16-year-old. Um, but I also want to put in here before I turn it back over to you. Um, because I was also struggling with being 16, there was then that side of it too. I think I couldn't imagine anything else but what was in front of me because that's all I knew. And that's what I focused on. You know what I mean? Because it kept me sane. It kept me from wanting to do shit that I didn't need to do. So.
Mm. I probably I probably smack my younger self in the face. Probably smack with the back of the head. Just be like, hey man, I ain't gonna tell you this now. This is the best you ever gonna get. Don't fuck it up. You already fucked up once. You can't fuck it up again. And then kind of just it's probably the same thing. Just kind of like maybe you and her should just talk it out, and maybe y'all should just slow it the fuck down because you don't want to run into it too far, and then maybe this doesn't happen if we slowed down. If we didn't like, or no, that's slow down. Yeah, slow down. Like you need experience, and I need experience. You don't want to be one of those like straight out of high school people that get married. Those are kind of weird to me.
We would have ended up being like that because literally for me, I didn't even think about my life. Like, I didn't think about what my life would have looked like any other way. Like, that literally was like, okay, well, I know for a fact after I graduate, I'm going down there and we're going to get married and da da da. Like, that's all I knew. So there was no backup plan for me, which is why when I started moving the way I did after we split, it was all abrupt shit because I was not ready or not. I wasn't. I'm gonna just be real. I wasn't ready to tell my parents they were right. That's number one.
Can't let them know that they were right. God damn it!
Oh hell no! I was not ready to tell them that. So I had to come up with some shit, and I had to come up with some shit fast. And I had to also make sure that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to let myself let this make me a crash. Well, we're gonna say crash out because that's the term now. Because back then, that's all I was going to do. And I mean, in a way, I did. I just made dumbass decisions. Now, granted, they weren't dumb on the scale of how dumb decisions can get, but I didn't have a teenage life. I didn't have a 20s. I was already a parent in my 20s. I went from being married to divorced to being a parent all in my 20s.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't
That's
I didn't
wild.
explore the world. I didn't go and do anything because I was just like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do because I'm supposed to be married right now. I'm supposed to be da da da. So that's what I'm saying. It's like my thought process back then was very domestic. That's all I knew. I don't know why. Now as an adult, I understand that it's because I wanted to give myself what I thought I was lacking. And I thought that the easiest way to do that was to connect myself with someone else. Like, yeah. So that comes to the end of part one of our heart to heart. We'll probably do a part two maybe in a few months. Maybe the end of season two we'll come back and give you guys like an update because I do plan to go and visit him and have an in person talk. So who knows how that'll go? Maybe we'll film it.
We should film it. That'd be cool.
So that's what we'll do. So our part two of this will be an in person heart to heart.
We'll do it at a Starbucks.
Yeah, our favorite place, even though we shouldn't be at Starbucks right now. But whatever, that's whatever. But yeah, I want to thank my guest Havoc for coming on and sharing a little bit more about him and us and all the things. But we will definitely get into a little bit more of him and his collecting and all that in the next one because that interview will be more together. This was more freestyle, and the next one will be actually with a run of show. So
Okay. I'm fine with it. This was fun. This was fun.
oh, I'm glad because I know we talked about it, and I'm glad that you decided to do it with me. Thank you so much.
I got a lot off my chest after all these years. It's been 20 fucking years.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy. Like, that's so crazy how long it's been.
Yeah, I know.
The fact that we can sit here right now and have a conversation in our adult selves says a lot. We're healing.
We're healing.
We're healing. And I want to thank you again for coming on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll be here if you need me.
Thanks, love.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
All right, guys. See you guys in the next one. And yeah, have a great night.